Hey, cool. Does this thing work? What's up? I gotta make sure everything's working right. Hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Staring at the Sun. My name's Alex Palmer. I don't do scripts and I'm not good at live. That's my gimmick right now. Pardon me while I get all my stuff arranged. I need just one moment. I got a whole bunch of stuff ready to go for you guys. I got a small list of stuff we're gonna tackle. Where is all of my materials? Goodness. Dude, I can't find my stuff. Alright, now we're good to go, I think. Yeah. Alright, so I got some cool stuff lined up today. We're gonna take a look at AI. We're gonna talk a little bit about the struggle of going solo and getting your own business kind of launched off of the ground, what it's like getting stuff established for the first time as far as social media, etc., goes. Sorry, I gotta make sure everything is working properly because I am my own editor, and that's another thing that we're definitely going to talk about today within the previous mention. What else did I have lined up? We're going to talk about relationship management within your business and generally how to communicate in relationship to that. And I forget, did we mention the thing with AI? AI's taken over. We're going to take a look at AI and we're going to kind of learn a little bit for ourselves about what each of them kind of does the best and what we might want to use them for. So, I guess I won't waste time, will I? So, first thing we'll talk about is managing clients, managing communications. See, look at, speaking of managing communications, I gotta make sure everything's open so I can read the chat just in case. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay. Dude, every screen is freaking out, guys. I'm sorry. That's almost exactly what I expected. I had such a nightmare getting this whole thing organized even. I couldn't get through with Podbean, and then once I did, I found out Podbean is actually getting rid of their video part of their platform. And I was hammering on Spotify, and for anybody who's already used Spotify, like I've heard it before myself, but I didn't want to believe it. It's a giant piece of crap. Surprise. So we're talking a little bit about, goodness. And I can't think and listen at the same time. That's another problem for me. So, we're talking about getting content management started. We're talking about getting our social medias launched. What a pain in the butt that is. I'm gonna spend this time to complain about X, dude. Overall, I like the face that social media is kind of taken at this point. I'm a big fan of the whole TikTokification of media thing, only for the regard that it's intent-based now, right? We've heard all these kind of buzzwords like this thrown around for a while now, but it's cool to see it kind of come full circle into something that actually isn't that bad. Let's make sure the phone's not dinging. Sorry, guys. Yeah, X was my biggest one trying to get off of the ground. I am actually having a lot of fun with X, the way it goes. There's a lot of, depending what you're into, there's a lot of stock information, a lot of business information. I get a lot of space. I really love the space thing. Just inspiring, a lot of book writers on there. It's cool stuff. It's definitely different than what I'm used to. Even Facebook is a little bit more concise now, although I think Facebook is kind of the messiest thing around. Getting that off of the ground was a nightmare for me, because I don't know who knows this or not, but especially when you're establishing new accounts and new presences, especially on the top social medias, which is all of them, they don't trust you at first. They simply don't trust you. And they usually lay it out and it seems like it's nice and clean and concise and clear. but you follow the rules, you jump through the hoops, and 90% of the time you get shut down anyway. It kind of depends. Like, usually you did something stupid, but actually more often than you would believe, it's just the automation sucks. And this is a thing across Facebook, X, I mean, even LinkedIn to a lesser degree, weirdly enough. I didn't even post on LinkedIn, and it was kind of hitting me with weird alerts saying, "Hey man, we're watching your account. Like, we're not sure about this. This is suspicious." And I was like, "Why? I'm filling out the information as we speak." Making the content is like a whole crazy thing, especially when you're a one-man band. So you're trying to do the marketing and then figure out and perform your services, of course. Managing your own client relations, right? It's a whole lot of running around. Then you gotta do your own social media. Yeah. Anyway, as far as relationships go in business and how to talk to people, or what I've thought about it, especially right now, it's key, I would say. It depends who you watch, but it's not actually a new thing. You'll find this with me. I'm an engineer, not a scientist. I'm not inventing stuff. I'm just taking the best stuff and kind of putting it in a form that helps a rocket be a big rocket. Me no science. Me just do science. Anyway, managing the expectation genuinely has always, and will always be a hard thing. But more than that is getting through genuinely. And again, more and more as we move forward, like, that's what sells, that's what's important. You got to kind of take the time and, for starters, I would say feel the room. Sometimes you got to text a guy. Sometimes they want you to actually just pick up the phone and call them. Sometimes they don't want any of that. Some guys actually just want an email. Some guys don't want to be bothered at all, and it's just like, hey, touch them now, and then a week from now they'll come and give you a ring again. It's a lot about reading the room, just knowing the person. When we're trying to forge new relationships, I would say, again, it's basically the same thing. Like, you just have to do your utmost to make that upfront investment to get them to return that kind of investment, is what I've found. Shutting up and listening, that's a big thing overall that I've learned, is just like, shut up and absorb the information. Like, be quiet. Like, if you're not ready to talk, it'll help you if you just shut up and process just for one moment. You actually don't look that stupid if you just wait one extra moment, I've found. Otherwise, there's really good automations. There's a lot of easy ways to kind of manage client relations in a way that's pseudo hands-off, if you will. What can I say? Yeah, those are the big ones for me as far as the relations and communications go. Ask what the problem is, right? Like, if you actually care, the opportunity for business will kind of just rise to the surface. According to the script, at this point, I'm supposed to do an ad roll. I'm under not any contractual obligation, actually. However, I want to show you guys something. I want to take the time to show you guys something. Before I show you a whole bunch of other stuff, I'm going to show you something. This, right here. Sorry, dude, I'm my own editor. I'm a little slow. This right here. This is the best deals over on Amazon, guys. Check this out. We got the price drops, right? We found the hottest ones in the last couple of days, and we actually got you the direct link for those, so I'll leave that down below. Make sure to check it out. This may or may not be an affiliated sponsorship. I don't have to tell you. I read the rules. I actually do have to tell you, but I don't have to tell you, like, with my mouth, it turns out. Alright, listen, we're not gonna talk about that. We're not gonna talk about that. Nobody paid me under the table in cheeseburgers. Back to what the heck I was talking about. So, in relation to talking to people and managing relationships within business, I want to mention that, well, it's a mindset thing, I guess. I started to look at the world and kind of realize everybody needs therapy, like, really bad. And maybe this isn't a new thing for a whole bunch of people, right? But hear me out. It's just painting the same thing in a new light for me. You know, we hear it all the time, right? Oh, I'm afraid to get in front of the camera, right? It feels weird to do my own marketing. You know, I don't really want to do that, right? I don't want to talk to people. I hear all the time. You know, we always, especially in business, we hear about really stupid little stuff that kind of blows up what otherwise may or may not have been a good deal. Like, and again, too, in lending to the whole caring about your client and it'll make you money in the long run thing, I think if you look at it this way, and you realize that people actually need this, it actually makes that easier to do, if that makes sense. Like, that's the whole reason I kind of pointed out. Moving away from the more personal side and moving towards the face of the internet, I guess I'm going to take a minute to just talk about what's going on with the internet itself and business. I myself am a constant learner, so, you know, just like anybody else, I'm aware that it is a constant churn. There's always new information. There's always new stuff going on. In the next 12 hours, whatever I say, 50% of it may no longer be pertinent anyway. You never know. You know, the robots could take over now. I think I mentioned before, overall, I kind of like the way that social media is turning. At least for me, who at this kind of point in my life knows very efficiently what I want to do in my idle time, doom scrolling time, whatever you like to use. I like that I can get what I want more concisely out of the platforms. I will say I don't like that it's more difficult to navigate. However, inverse of that, I will acquiesce. I like that security is up. Sometimes it feels like a bit much, and sometimes rules feel a little bit backwards, X. But security's up, quality's up. I can't complain. Plus, there's more avenues to do things on these media outlets, you know, now more than ever. So, you know, social media's here to stay, boys. I think we already do that, though. That's almost old business, isn't it? Love the content, love the description, love you guys. You guys are breathtaking. Appreciate you. Glad you're here. Shucks. Where was I? I do have visual aids. You're not going to stare at my big ugly mug all night long, I promise you. So get ready for that one. That's fun. I'm just kind of rattling down a list. Like, I wrote myself a loose list here of what it is that I kind of wanted to touch on. Because honestly, I always blank out as soon as I hit the button. It happens, dude. Try to roll with it. Oh, cool. Yeah, we made it to the part where we get to talk about AI. Heck yeah, dude. Yeah, this is the part that I wanted to talk about. Oh, but before I did, I wanted to give one more example. See, I'm jumping around. I wanted to give one example real quick, just to help visualize some stuff. Where is it? Here it is. When we're talking about communications, before I finish jumping around, right? Let me finish the last thing. Maybe I should learn to do that. When we're talking about communications, if you have a person who you want them to do something, usually it's for one of four, if not a fifth kind of special side reason. Key note, this is not like a new or fancy thing. I did not come up with this. I learned this from a guy who knows the game way better than me. Point blank, period. Just so we're clear. So, usually it's for one of four reasons. Either they didn't know the thing. I didn't know that you wanted me to do that. The instructions were otherwise unclear, and they couldn't figure out how. I didn't know how to do that. Or they didn't know when. Right? So I knew what you wanted me to do, and I actually knew how to do it, but I didn't know that you wanted me to do it then. Or otherwise, why? So I knew what you wanted me to do. The instructions you gave me were clear enough. I knew when you wanted it done, but I had no frickin' reason to do it. Right? You didn't pay me, or you treated me like an asshole or something. And then finally, the only other reason somebody doesn't do something is because I don't want to. Now this one's special. If we're looking through the scope of business, guys, you need to ask yourself how hungry you are. Are you actually, for any stupid frickin' reason, any logical reason, or even a stupid one, are you willing to let pride get in the way of $1 million? I don't want to. Are you willing to get laziness, pride or laziness? Are you going to let that get in the way of $1 million? So that's why it's kind of the X factor to me, because it's like an outlier. Like the other four things kind of make sense to me. I don't want to is it's difficult for me to make sense out of is kind of the point. Oh, well, hey, I was gonna visualize that, but I definitely forgot to. Well, hey, I got more visual for you. Don't worry. Goofy, silliness. Here you go. Have some visual. This is what I was reading off of the whole time. Welcome to the show. I'll even take one last peek real fast, just to see. What are we saying? Cool. I want to see the visual. You get to see the visual. You do get to see the visual. You deserve it. All right. So, we're about to go look at AI. That's the fun thing that we wanted to do. I clicked the wrong thing. So we're going to kind of look at it in these three categories. If anybody has any ideas, give me a thought, because I didn't think this out too deep. I'm playing around. I'm playing around a little bit. I don't take enough time to play around with these things. We're going to play around a little bit. So I'm going to see how creative is it, right? What kind of stuff is it willing to do depending on what I tell it, right? How out of the box is it going to get? Is it going to make me go, oh, I didn't think of that, or wow. General assistiveness, right? Is it a good kind of AI assistant overall? What does it do, right? Other than basically art, is a very primitive way to put it. And then beyond that, we're just going to look at day-to-day usefulness. Specifically, we're going to look at it basically down my scope, just the way that I use it pretty much, right? In day-to-day marketing, basically. So the last category might differ kind of a little bit for you guys. You can form your own opinions for yourself. I'm just here to take a peek and we'll learn about it together. So, who do we got lined up? Well, let's start with Meta. That's fine for me. So we're going to take a look at Meta, we're going to take a look at Grok, we're going to take a look at Perplexity, we're going to take a look at Claude. Good old Claude. And also we'll look at Gemini. So, let's start with Meta. Hey Meta, what's up? Now I know you guys are gonna have difficulty reading this, right? All the other interfaces will be bigger. I'm sorry about that. And okay, I just want to make sure everything's running smooth. So, hey Meta, tell the show about what you do best. Bringing the conversation. I crush it on answering questions, generating ideas, and chatting you up, basically. Okay. So, creative. That's leaning on that angle. Let's see. So, if I was to say, let's go for this, right? Because I'm thinking, how would I personally use it? Maybe we don't go with such a very angry random post. Let's put all the angry posts. Here we go. Let's have it write a reply. Because sometimes I won't even lie, I do this for client emails. Usually on social media, I try to like hand type. I don't really do that. Meta already kind of gives you suggestions. I'll just give you a spoiler real quick. Oh, I'm dead. I just told it that. Well, what's it gonna say? I was just like, hey man, meet Lover Square. Luca Pizzas. They're telling me about the pizza, man. Well, that's interesting. I based on its original response to what I had asked it to tell me about, I wasn't sure it would go and find that information. Now, I wonder if it's basing that information on stuff on Facebook or not. I'm thinking, so write a reply to. So yeah, this is one of the things that I think is particularly useful about a couple of the AIs here today. Is you can use it to kind of help you generate a baseline idea for how the heck do I talk to people. I mean, I'm weird too, dude. Like, I can't talk to people sometimes, or I'm just really not the day for it, right? Like, use the tools in front of you. I'm not even gonna lie. If that sounds lazy, well then screw it, I'm lazy. This is how it would respond. Oh my god, yes. Cup and char. Cup and char. Cup and char sausage. Yeah, it knows the name of it. I didn't read the name of the pizza at first. That sounds good, bro. A little bit of burnt pepperoni on there. That sounds fun. Continue on. What is this? It wants me to open like a standalone or whatever. Oh yeah, okay, that's cool. See, they didn't stick this button in front of me. I wish they stuck this button in front of me, dude. Okay. What else can you do? What else can you do? We think, does anybody have anything that we want to try out with this thing? Let me take a look. What else can we try out? We tried out like random responses. So what can we do with make me a branded image or I don't know. Jimmy's Plumbing in West Virginia. I don't know. Give me some stuff. I just want to see. Well, log me in, brother. I do not believe it's going to show any of my data. If it shows my data, then don't steal it. I'll just ask nicely. Oh, there it is. Did that? Oh, I was like, what the heck just happened with the light? Okay. Tell me about Jimmy Sausage, man. Jimmy Plumbing. Sorry, I'm thinking about the pizza. Okay. So this is quite fun. I think this should be our first little side-by-side comparison. Like, let's just ask everybody for this same thing. That sounds good to me. Because this is a thing that I commonly, very commonly do, is we do stuff like thumbnails, we do stuff like banners, right? Uh, just helps me edit branded stuff, making memes or whatever. Oh, am I stupid? Yeah, I was just like, here, Jimmy's. Make me a. Oh, that's right. Grok doesn't have image making capabilities, does it? Oh yeah, it does. I think it does. I'm pretty sure. Somebody doesn't, maybe. I'm 99% sure somebody doesn't. Boop. Okay. I should have asked purposely for options, but cool. Okay, now wait a minute. So it's not. It does have the same like clean to it, but it's not. It's definitely not the same thing. I like how it's breaking down and it's like, hey, these specific. Here's the color palette number, brother. Hunter green. Nice. Very nice. If you want any changes, different colors, add a phone number, blah, blah, blah. It's typical stuff I would expect. Add anything else, whatever. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's quite fine. Is Perplexity the one? One of these guys. One of these guys. What do our buttons do? Let's find all of our buttons. Deep research. Unfortunately, I'm too cheap to pay for all the premium, so I'm not going to get the fun stuff today. But maybe in the near future. See, and then that's another thing. I'm 50% certain, at least, that some of the nuance that I don't get is a direct result of the fact that I don't have some of these premium versions. But I wonder if it's just how do I say, like a FOMO thing, like a thing where I'm like, it's like gotta be so crazy because it's locked behind this gate, but really it's just another, I don't want to say it, cheeseburger. I like feel bad about that now. I can't stop saying that word. All right. Hey, Perplexity. Tell the people about what you do best. Let's also do this for Grok since we kind of blew past him. Start getting a little bit of side by side going here. And again, I'm just kind of covering like general use stuff. If anybody comes up with anything more advanced or intricate, let me know. This is just the stuff that I kind of figured that I would use it for or do already. Did we log in? I missed the part where the screen moved. Okay. Can't talk and think at the same time, guys. I only have 2 brain cells and I gotta rub them together to walk. Grok, right. I keep thinking, I'm like, oh, now what are we looking at? Tell the people, Grok, what you do best. Oh. I don't think... No, that's not quite what I meant, Grok. Grok believes that he is Jimmy. Which is great. That's fine. That's really good. You know, if I needed this sort of thing, but I think Jimmy probably knows who he is. Tell the people here, Grok, what you do best. Here's a fun, natural way to introduce me to your local... Oh my gosh. He can't get off Jimmy. He loves him some Jimmy. Wait, can you stop? Okay, how about this? Tell me what the Grok AI is best at. Clearly, it's not comprehension. So, I see, like, this... Look, I don't want to do it to X, dude. I really don't. I don't want to do it, bro. I heard such good things about Grok. So, core strengths, real-time info and search, truth-seeking, honest answers. This sounds like a company safe statement if I've ever heard one. Reasoning and complex problem solving, especially strong in math, etc., etc., etc. Okay. Oh, do some sweet science for me, Grok. Oh yeah. Can you teach me how to make a really big bomb? Not for bad reasons, I swear. Scientifically. It's not for bad reasons, guys. I swear. Just relax. Let's see. While you cook that, I think we'll go see what Perplexity's up to. We'll do a little comment check. Do we think logos for legit businesses goes over well? It depends. I think usually no, if you're careless about it. However, if you feed the machine, feed the machine, feed the machine. You know what? This is really good that I'd like to kind of show you what I'm talking about actually. And I'm going to use Gemini because I use Gemini very frequently, so I kind of know already what it's going to come up with. I know Gemini comes up with sick stuff, dude. Like I don't want to be jaded for Gemini, but maybe a little bit. So, make me a branded image for Jimmy's Plumbing in West Virginia. I'm 90% sure before this comes out that it's going to come out almost very, very, very different than the other ones. It usually kind of like, I don't know. I like Google stuff, man. I don't know what else to say. Oh, see, that's not quite. That's funny because I was talking them up and then they were like, okay, I'll just shit the bed. I'll just shit the bed. But one of the things Gemini does do really good is comprehension. So, like, if you just talk to it like a normal person. Also, I should play with the audio. Gemini, I was looking for something more like a brand logo, not like a picture of a dude with, like, the name Jimmy slapped everywhere. Can you try again? It does remember very efficiently the rest of the conversation, which not all of them seem to quite do. And I'll try to showcase that momentarily. So while that's cooking, let's go take a look at Perplexity. Perplexity, what is Perplexity good at? Perplexity is an AI assistant who is built to help people understand, create, and express ideas clearly. So he sounds very much like Claude to me already. He also sounds like the way Grok introduces himself, but Grok is capping. This is the one that I actually have the most minimum use with. So, here's the only other thing. Here's my only other question. So you're not used, however, are you the one that's not used for creating images? Can you generate a branded image for me? Please? What if I said please? Oh, no, it does. I could have swore I looked at something today. Maybe it was something else entirely. I swore I looked at something today that was like, no, dude, I can't make images. Okay, well then, let's halt that. I'd like you to actually cook, my friend. I would be very happy if you'd cook for Jimmy. Logo for Jimmy's Plumbing in West Virginia. Just so we're keeping it uniform. Options are good. Take a peek. Oh, don't put that there. The cheeseburger. You can't put cheeseburgers in my chat because I'll try to bite my screen, dude. Okay. You know, it's funny. Gemini is my actual day-to-day go-to, but uh they're kind of underwhelming me tonight. Very interesting. Yeah, Gemini is my day-to-day go-to, but they're really underwhelming me right now. Can I have some options? And we'll kind of go back and glance over a couple other like uses and ideas for these, but I think I'm kind of running with like two, three things at once here, so we'll kind of chunk through a little bit and circle our way back around the block if we want. I do also like that Gemini explains the options when it's giving you options. Okay, well, like, but overall, right, in terms of day-to-day usableness, it's still spitting me stuff that like I could use this. Like I could find a way to use this. I could even ask it to isolate out one of these four. These are clean, these are nice. These are very brandable. Um in coherence with your previous question about do you think the AI stuff will go over? Well, I guess I would ask you, do you think this will go over? Me personally, I think this is hot. Like I don't know how somebody's gonna hate this and go, oh, that's AI slop. You know what I mean? Like this is kind of clean. Like any of these four options, if this doesn't tickle you, I don't really know. I think that's pretty business professional. I think it doesn't look crazy AI. That's just my opinion. Let's see, where else were we? So we had Perplexity doing some stuff. Perplexity's cool. I like their idea with keeping it super simple. This is also very clean, very brandable, very usable. So on this specific usage case, I mean, I gotta give a little bit of edge to Perplexity here for starters, and Gemini always delivers. I mean, I don't know what else I expected. Everybody else, not so hot so far. However, what about Claude? And we'll play with the voice because I know I don't do that enough, and I know that that's the best way to do this. Hello, Claude. Welcome to Staring at the Sun, brother. Why don't you tell the audience what you're best at? Oh, it's not actually listening? Is my mic crossed up? Oh, well, I just can't hit buttons. Hey, Claude. Welcome to Staring at the Sun. Why don't you tell the people what you're best at?
Cheers for having me.
I love this guy's voice. Sorry, I always forget that the mic thing doesn't turn off. Like, I always go to, like, talk to myself after I say something. And he's like, huh? I think there's a thing earlier probably in this same chat where I was like, I was playing around with Claude, and then I turned to say something to Kate or whatever, and it caught, like, my half of the conversation. And reading the way I talk was, well, I almost had an aneurysm. Okay. So, this is Claude. He's best at being your on-demand creative partner. So again, a huge lean and focus on the creativity. If we're talking about brands, logoing, getting stuff to assist in your content, these are the guys who's kind of the best at it. Let's have Claude do the logo test. Create a branded logo for Jimmy's Plumbing in West Virginia. Hop over here while I got a sec. Gemini's latest update made it difficult for daily image generating. I used to be able to get around 60 a day. Dude, you're making 60 in a day? I have not hit the limit yet. Well, hey, good on you. You'll have to teach me how to get the most out of it, dude. Because you've done it 100 more times than me, so you probably know a little bit more about the nuance of how to really get what you want. See, I don't know precisely what you're using it for anyway. Like we might not be using it for exactly the same thing, but yeah, I'd love to know more. Business card, yeah, I like the business card thing. That's clean. You could like even post that as content on social media, right? People would potentially like that, I think, or at least it's an option when you're trying to mix stuff up for the crawlers and algo, right? Um, I hope it's not too low level to basically say it, but if we're talking about the way that we're posting on social media, we know that the kind of rule of thumb is 2 pieces of content for everything that you got every single day that you can. I always say basically mix it up, right? You don't want to keep throwing the same punch. Whatever that means, it could be 2 posts. One of them is like a text wall or something with a link in it, and the other one is, let's say, it's one of your podcast clips. I don't know. Could be anything. That plus there's always like stuff like reels on Facebook, right? Shorts on YouTube, so on and so forth, right? You can you can use AI for that stuff too, in a way that's semi-reliable. I've mostly been playing with that. I don't think I would use it for anything that I really want to do unless I want to do some kind of like short talk pieces or something like this. Perplexity. Okay. Well, you tell me about Perplexity. Let's go check it out. You tell me about Perplexity and let's go check it out together. So we're doing the look. Oh, that's right. Before we go talk about Perplexity anymore, let's give Claude a turn. So this is cool and all, but like, can I get some options? And here is one. So I'm gonna call it before we go. I don't think Claude is gonna do well in the comprehension test here. Oh, and then that's another category, isn't it? Comprehension. To me, that's a category. I don't know the way you guys would organize this, but this is the way it's kind of lining up in my head. So that's great and all. That's nice. I would also put that on a business card. Pretty brandable, pretty usable. I'm not sure how much AI it screams. I think maybe you guys could tell me. I think that's not bad. Okay, well, can I have some options? Can't type. Give me some options, brother. Here I am waiting for it. I didn't read. It's not coming, brother. It's not coming. It failed. Claude failed. He's dead. He's gone. It's over. He's dead. Rip Claude. Alright, dude. Oh, I do like this, the auto suggest. What kind of options am I looking for? Eh. How about a different color scheme, dude? Bold and modern. It does this like Q&A thing. It's the way that it comprehends it, I guess. Yeah, it just like changed up the color scheme for me. I love that. That's just kind of nice. I like the way that it like makes it animated. Like this is nice and all for presentation, but like I don't know. I don't know. I'm not crazy excited yet. I love it. I love it. I love it very much. But not crazy excited yet. One of the things that I found especially Claude was really good at is how do I phrase this in a way that's more friendly for this? Give me some business proposal templates, please. And in fact, we'll make this our next test. I've also found that feeding stuff to Gemini, if you feed it your source image, or better yet, feed it multiple source images, you can get it to not like over AI your stuff and totally facelift it, but get that subtle kind of just cleaning it up AI effect, if you will. It's one of the things that I'm still kind of actively playing with is how can I get right the best thumbnails and branded images for myself even. Gemini is very good at just kind of flattening out the background and just making it normal, and then otherwise when you need to adjust little stuff, it comprehends well enough that you can adjust, if you will. Or even if you tell it, hey, kind of go hog wild, but use this source image, it does maintain the identity of the source image efficiently enough, I suppose. Now, I haven't exactly played with that as much with the other AIs as a thing that I'll admit here. The test, right? Oh, proposal. Yeah, this is a thing that he does really well, but I'll save it for a sec. Can you give me some business proposal templates? We'll just go around and ask everybody the same stuff, man. Here, we'll copy paste so it's a little bit quicker. Grok, can you do it? Meta, can you do it? And let's go see what they say. Okay. So, simple, basic, clean. Informational breakdown, good to go. Scope of work, client and project, it's all of our basic necessities, I suppose. This is nice enough. Cool, cool, cool. I like that it breaks it down concisely, at least. This is efficient. It's not insanely pretty, but it is very clean and very efficient. I think a lot of this stuff is plug in, plug out, plug and play. I won't complain. I won't complain. I'll give it a thumbs up. Grok, what you got, fella? Proposal title. He's giving me some ideas. Okay. Very cool. Oh, I like that he's using Jimmy's. He loves Jimmy. Did you use Jimmy? Oh, yeah, you use Jimmy. All right, cool. I like it when they're using Jimmy. Table of contents. So this is like the overlay, or the overhead rather, the overview, whatever you want to say. I'm not good at English. Business proposal. Here's the nitty gritty. Executive summary, the challenge, our solution. Okay, so this is a little bit more in depth, let's say. Timeline, investment amounts, cool. This one does not explain itself as much, but I think this one is more practical in a sense. I like this one better personally, at least than the last one. Let's go see Perplexity. Yeah, there's a whole bunch. Depends on the situation. Short sales proposal, blah, blah, blah. I recommend the following, blah, blah, blah. So this just feels like a regular old email. This is options for ways that I can email somebody, right? Executive summary. Well, but you know what? It gets the point across actually in a nice, tight, concise manner. These are, in fact, the things that you would probably need for a efficient and proper business proposal. However, I'm not seeing it kind of give me the plug. But I get that that might not be Perplexity's thing. I'm pretty sure Perplexity's thing is more organizing the information. So if you have a whole bunch of stuff that needs to go into a business proposal, that would be a little bit more different. And in fact, maybe that could be our last test, is maybe feed it a little more. I'll think about what we'll do as we wrap this up. I want to go to Claude, but he's the fun one. We're going to save him for last. because I've used that before and that's cool shit. So, you got some templates ready. Okay, well, it gave me a PDF. I hate PDFs, first off. Well, at least it tells me what they are. And it opened right up in the thing, so I'll give them a pass, because usually I have to go and click around and then mess with my my defaults. So this is nice, first off. This is fucking pretty, dude. This is pretty. This is pretty, dude. I'll say that. I am, well, what can I say? Gemini, cool. GG. However, Claude. And again, another one of Claude's big things too, I believe, is organizing the information more. I mean, I know that he's good at art. I know that he's good at creativity, but also he's good at organizing the information. So, it's another case of feed the machine is what I'll say basically. So, first off, it starts asking questions. It's like, all right, well, but I got to figure out what you're talking about. So, the comprehension is interesting. While Claude doesn't have a really good grasp on what happened previously in the conversation in many cases, not every case, but many cases, he does look at a question by itself and try to analyze it deeply, so that's a fun one. Let's talk, how about just a general business proposal, because that's what everybody else is doing. And I like that you can tell it what format, that's fun. Just show me in the chat is cool. What do we got? So, now we're talking about, hey, give me the information. Here it is. Can I type here? I cannot type here. It looks like I can type here. Like, I wish this was a thing where I can just fill it out and then, I don't know. I don't know what it would do with that. Like, I understand the point here, but I feel like I should be allowed to just erase and type the way that it blocks things off like that. It's very nice, very clean. What else are we talking about? Proposal number. Very official. This is another cool one. I like that it's all a little bit different. I mean, I obviously would have expected that asking for the same thing would yield the same result, big dub. But this is nice. This is a little bit different. I like Claude. Good job, Claude. Describe the client's pain point. What is the problem? What is the opportunity? I like that they use that, problem and opportunity. Scope of work. All right. So we've taken a look at a couple of things that these guys might do for us. Let's start to pack things out here. Let's kind of organize it for ourselves one last time as we walk away. Who's the best at what? Right? Let's make kind of a decision for ourselves. So in terms of the raw creativity, I mean, a lot of these are a toss-up to begin. All of these tools, I think, are very solid. I think a lot of the matter is going to be user preference based, and beyond that, scenario based. So, for creativity, Claude definitely has to get a mention. I like Gemini for every damn thing. Gemini comes up with cool stuff. You do have to feed it a lot more, so maybe I'll kind of organize this too by top to bottom a little bit, if you will. I also think Perplexity is very unique. I think these are my top 3 in terms of just general tasks and assistance. I think all of them do an okay enough job. Again, for the organization and such, for actually getting stuff done, for helping you figure out what you're going to do with your business, I think it's going to be a very similar answer, like it's Claude and Perplexity. Grok is all the way counted out for me. I mean, it's just like it literally has no idea what's going on its own platform. Meta's just fine. Meta does a great idea. Oh, you know what? I do have to give Meta an honorable mention too on the creativity list, dude, because they did kind of look at what I was telling them in a different way than the other guys. So I'll give them an honorable mention, but I don't think that's what I'm using it for particularly is the art and design elements. But it definitely looked at it in a interesting way. So over here, definitely Claude, Perplexity, all freaking day. Your day today, you know I'm gonna give the vote to Gemini. I love Gemini. Yeah, it kind of let me down at the beginning of things there, but overall I think it stayed solid. It's exactly what I expect from it. Beyond that, I think again the other winners of the other categories are already very solid for your day to day, but more for the organizing information thing. I think Gemini otherwise is the more global utility if we're talking about hey, how do I respond to this thing, or hey, what should I say to this client who hates me, or hey, how do I start to come up with an idea for this brand? I think in general, it's Gemini, then the other winners, Claude and Perplexity. It's kind of my top three there. Overall comprehension, just kind of figuring out like what the heck is going on based on what you're saying. Yeah, wow. It's funny because I feel like almost a broken record, don't I? Gemini. Gemini gets it. Claude has difficulty with this, actually. Perplexity, let's take one last glance at that, actually. Can we reference back at all what we did before with Perplexity? Is there anything I gotta look through here real quick? Make a proposal for Jimmy's. Now, if it remembers Jimmy, then at least it'll pass the comprehension test. I don't know why it scoured the internet anyway and then said, oh wait, I do know what Jimmy is. I don't know why that is, but I'm going to give it a check for the comprehension test, boys. Whoop. Throwing all my stuff around. Gemini. Perplexity. I'm not sure if I tested it enough, but I have tested it plenty off screen. Claude has difficulty with the retention thing. Meta probably also does just dandy. I do have to give Meta a mention here. I think Meta is also kind of solid, even though it's a little bit under my radar. Pardon me as I'm losing things. Okay. So we'll pack that up. I got a couple of quick viewer questions before we wrap it and pack it. We'll kind of do a quick little recap, and I guess I'll take off. How about a little bit of mood music for the matter? Boom. I don't have a lot of it. I did not prepare a ton of this. Okay, so first question of the night. I got this from a dude named, I kid you not, his name's Stonk Overlord from Reddit. So he said, hey man, here's my question. Hey, I'm obsessed with optimizing my content using AI, strategy and image generators mostly. So he's asking it for strategy and then otherwise generating images, I guess. I didn't read for proper English here. I thought this stuff was supposed to save me hours. Instead, I spent half my day testing and playing with prompts and the other half trying to figure out why the last result looks like a glitching fever dream. I feel like I'm just replacing one manual job with another. At what point do I stop testing and start being more effective? When is the efficiency payoff actually coming? Because I can't see it. Well, is it too mean if I say try harder? Is it too mean if I just say try harder? I think maybe you might be trying to get the wrong thing out of the wrong thing. Like, we just took a look and we saw that not everybody performs the same in every category. I would say, unfortunately, even though you're super sick of it, I would say you do have to test more. I would say keep playing around. I would say be more specific with your prompting. Use voice mode and like chat that thing up until it starts to smoke. Right? Give it every little detail, right? Hey, my name is Bob, my color is this, I'm about 6'3", right? Blah 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 blah. Give it every damn little thing that you got. And then see what comes out. And then too, don't be picky about it. You don't have to keep going back and testing and messing around. Like, once you find something that works, I would say just stick with it. That would be my advice to that. Let me take a peek over here. Let me see if you guys got any questions. Fonts make a huge difference. I agree 100%. Fonts and color, absolutely 100%. You guys remember, and you guys see American Psycho? I think frequently about the business card scene. I think frequently about that and how absolutely stunning that business card looks. The next question is from Paul, who is literally my neighbor. Hey Alex, I'm short about being... I can't read tonight, dude. I'm falling asleep. Hey Alex, the short about being... I must have mistyped it, dude. I talked to the dude and then typed it out. The short about being your own editor hit way too close to home. I'm my own boss and my own editor. I do the actual work, and frankly, I'm tired. I find that I spend hours criticizing my own voice and face instead of actually putting stuff out. How do you get past the thinking part and just do the work when there's no one else to validate it? That's hard. That's hard, brother. I think that's probably what I told you too. Like, pretty much to that same tune is like, man, that's a hard one. You need to let people help you, right? You know, I definitely get that. I do the one-man band thing too. It's helpful to, I know it's hard. You can definitely ask me to come help you. I would say look at it from different angles. A good thing that I heard was unplug and replug your headset, and then I found doing it like over and over and over helps you kind of get the tune. So I would say that for all things is look at it and try it with different angles, use different tools. Basically find what feels right, and then that'll start to kind of take that anxiety and thinking away a little bit. I would say beyond that, otherwise, like again on the editing side, it's a lot about what tools are you using, and then how much can you get out of your head. Like, basically just get out of your own way. Like, if it sucks, it doesn't matter, because in 12 hours somebody's probably going to forget about it, and within the following 12 hours you should have probably posted again. So it doesn't matter. There's a process for everybody. The point is to get started and start producing yesterday. Last question is from a dude named Steve, who is a guy who walks his dog near my house sometimes. Steve is stuck in a struggle getting off the ground. He just landed his second client starting his own business, but he's stretched kind of thin, right? He does SEO for a dude named Gary in Tamaqua. He's saying basically most of his week gets eaten up managing the expectations, answering emails, right? Just screwing around in general. And since he's on his own and he's just kind of getting on his feet, he feels like he can't afford to say no. So how would I deal with that? The questions. Or maybe it's me and my demeanor. Start by fucking dealing with it. That's what I would say. Like, look it straight in the face, admit that it's a problem, and then how do I set my boundaries, right? Set your boundaries, make it simple, right? We're not trying to be a dick, but your life needs to be livable, especially if you're helping somebody out, right? I'm going to hope that you cut the dude a fair deal, I imagine that your work is a high enough quality that he doesn't have to basically ride you like that. And then if that's the case, then I don't want to say lay down the law, but basically lay down the law and let them know, hey man, listen, dude, you can't be blowing up my phone all week long. Right? That's, I can't do it. I could talk to you at this time and or this time. This is when I'm available, but otherwise, like, I really can't do it unless you're, in my case, I would tell them, well, just, pay me for my time. My time personally, always for sale. But my time is valuable. And if you want to blow it, go ahead, but you have to pay me to do that. You can't afford to say no. There is enough of a market out there. I definitely understand that, right? Like, you're literally eating off of one thing, and if anything was to happen to that, then you're kind of cooked right this second, but the next opportunity is definitely around the corner. I would also say put yourself in a position where that's not a fear or a problem for you, right? Like, hurry up, do your marketing and networking now so you don't have to keep dealing with that, you know? I think it'll also be easier to set your expectations and boundaries for yourself if you feel like you have the room to do so. So make the room. Okay. Let me start to pack up. Do I have anything fun still on the list? I don't think there was anything too insane left on the list. I think I was just about to get ready to pack up. Yeah, I just about covered everything I wanted to cover, so I think that's fair. We've been here a while. I had a lot of fun with the AI thing. I definitely enjoyed spending the time thinking about these subjects. I think it would be valuable to expand on these things, though. I never personally feel like I'm a master of anything. I definitely want to encourage, advise people, learn stuff, like random stuff, useless stuff. I think it's fun in a weird way. It feels good to suck at something and then not suck at it. And two, it's always valuable to improve on anything, especially if you use it on a daily basis, right? If left unused, unsharpened, right, your knife goes dull, it gets rusty, right? We don't want that, of course. I think everybody's super sad, and I want to be way more inspirational, but honestly, I don't have any idea how. I think the internet is both in a better place and worse place than ever. I say in a better place than ever mostly because love's what's selling right now, boys. Right? It's, in a weird way, I found that it's basically screwing around. Right? By talking to other businesses, at least for me as a B2B, I have found a ridiculous amount of opportunity. All I had to do was pick up a phone. That's it. Pick up the phone, call a number that I already had in there. That right now for me, I'm looking down the barrel of 3 very big partners and or clients, depending on how you want to view it. Cooking up big stuff there. The only way that I got there was through the whole together we win mentality. And it's 100% true. Together we do win. I think that's where I'll leave you guys. I'm bad at outros, so this is not an outro. Have a good night.